All right. Now, Norm, we can kill the music. We can rock and roll now. All right, let's rock and roll. Whoops. All right, KW Southwest. How's everybody doing?
Try it again.
Awesome. Oh. Norman doesn't accept y'all's response. How's KW Southwest doing this Wednesday? I like how Tiffany's going to get ready to yell. She goes, awesome. I love to see all these faces, some faces we haven't seen in a minute. Now I know the trick. Just say anything that rhymes with billow and you guys show up. Even on a spring break. That's good. We're going to talk about lead generation today. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Well, welcome in. Let's get going. We have a lot of things to cover. Some interesting news, interesting information that we pivoted yesterday once the news came out, and that way we can get it in front of you guys, share it with you, and we can have a healthy discussion around it if you like. But let's get started as we usually do. Who's got something good to share? Who's got something good? Oh, Brad's got one. All right, open the floodgates.
I had a home go up March 2nd. Had an offer. This is in Sugar Land. Had an offer on day 2, under contract day 3, closed yesterday. All cash, almost full price. It was incredible.
Awesome.
Super fast.
What's that telling us? Agent was mediocre, right? Yeah, like how I love that. He even didn't catch it. Yeah. What is that telling us? Outside of Brad being an awesome agent. Yeah, there's activity. There sure is. We're seeing it. Okay. Yep. Somebody else. We got good? Something good? All right, here we are. Carol's got something. Hang on, wait for the mic, Carol, so online they can hear you.
Oh. I have a listing, Katie, that got a contract. We're closing April 6th.
Nice. Look at that. Love it. Love it. We're seeing it. Congratulations on that. Who else? Online, feel free to unmute. Never thought I'd ever see that. Someone walking across the back window with a box full of Chick-fil-A. Oh, spoons. Oh, spoons. All right, who else got something good? Come on, guys. One more person. Something personal. Who's got something good personal going on? All right, there we go.
Okay, personal. I am going to London next month.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a conference. If you follow James Shaw at the Pivot, and he has this big conference because this is anniversary.
Yeah.
So yes.
That is so awesome. Are you going? That's why y'all are sitting separate. Oh, I got it. Okay, that makes sense. The rift is still on. Okay.
That's why she's smiling right now. So.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. All right. Anybody else? Anything good to share? Anything good to share? All right. Let's bring up our lunch sponsor, Homestretch. Yeah, come on up.
That's the only way I can get my floors truly clean. And then I tried to switch for Power Lock.
Here we are, bud. Yes, please, so that way they can see you online. Yeah.
It's a built-in solution.
I think everybody got one of these. If not, let me know or raise your hand. I can give you one. So I'm Paul Wallace with Homestretch. That's my company. We do home preparation services. I don't think it's an O, but
yeah.
Sometimes it's
terrible timing, Norman. Terrible timing.
Great.
Yeah.
But anyway.
For longer than necessary for effective.
So what that is, so our core services. We're out painting, flooring, landscape cleanup, then a final cleaning. We also do light handyman work. I'll emphasize light. We're going to stay to the cosmetic things. One thing to think about it is I'm not going to go pull out a permit. I'm not doing remodeling, roofing, or foundation, but I do want to partner with you. So if you have those problems, you're probably going to need all these cosmetic things too. So I will help you find solutions. So on the light handyman work, so like doorknobs, fixtures, all the cosmetic stuff's fine. We'll do some tile repair. Most flooring things we'll do. That can get complicated, as we all know, but I certainly work with you in solution on it. I got good partners. Sherwin-Williams paint, Sherwin-Williams flooring too. They're one of the largest floors in the nation. A lot of people don't know that, but in commercial typically, but they like us because we do residential. I'm gonna stop there and see if there's any questions. I got just a couple other things.
how do you work out pricing for something like
Yeah, so let's talk about the process. So you can actually schedule a consultation here, or the homeowner can online. Sometimes that's frustrates people because it's 24 hours out and it's 9 to 5 and all that stuff. So just text me or call me and we'll figure out a time. I can either meet you there with the homeowner, or I can meet the homeowner on my own. Doesn't really matter to me. Although I will say, if they're hesitant to do the work, we need to be on the same page, right? So if you want me to go through you, I'll definitely go through you. That's totally up to you. It's your customer. You're my client, and I view them as the customer. But I've done it both ways. Some people just say, hey, go see this person and see what they need. And, they kind of want to stay out of it, but other people want to be involved every step. So the every step I kind of like, because usually we're on the same page, and sometimes the homeowners don't want to do this stuff. They don't realize the cost of it. So to answer your question, so reach out to me, and I can typically be there the next day, myself or my project manager, or one of them. Usually I'm ready before the homeowner or you guys are. And then we'll do the in-home consultation. We'll take measurements, see what they want, and we can break it out how they want to do it, where they can pick and choose things if they wanted to do that as well. That estimate is usually the day after, or sometimes two, depending on how complex things are. And then we can typically get started within a week to 10 days. And then the duration is reasonable. Some people ask about that. I'll just tell you, standard home, if you want to do some paint and carpet, it's usually a week or 10 days. Bigger homes with more flooring, you're repainting the outside, may take longer. Does that make sense? Okay.
Mhm.
Any other questions? Yes.
Taking out a bathtub, putting in a shower is heavy.
Probably. Yeah. So the heavy plumbing stuff, because you never know what's behind all that. And the heavy electrical stuff, again, I'll give you a reference, because I want to be there for you when you get ready to do all the other stuff. So I'll work with you as much as I can, but it's probably not something I'd quote.
You can do it.
Well, if it's prefabbed, we probably could. If it's custom, I'm not a custom cabinet builder. So does that make sense? I mean, it just depends. Yeah, but if it's prefab and it's pretty easy, yeah, we'll work with you as best we can. Yeah. So there was a question here. Yes, sir.
Will you defer payment till after closing?
Great question. That was my next point. So yes, we can. And so I always phrase it like this, and I think it's important, and I know y'all know it, but the value's there. I tell them, if I'm asked, and I don't interrupt, but if I'm asked, I say, well, you really can't afford not to do it, because whatever you put in, you're going to get back 2 or 3 times. Y'all probably have the same messages. But if there is a cash flow problem, yes, we can defer costs until closing. There's a couple of options. It just depends on the situation. Any more questions on that one? I can go into more detail, but I don't want to bore you on that piece.
Awesome.
All right.
Love
So,
it.
Excuse me, do you have
Oh,
a
yeah.
website or a phone number that I can look at some of the services that you provide? I'm not physically here
Absolutely.
today.
Can I email this out to how do I do
Sure.
that?
Yeah, we can definitely get it pushed out. Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I'll send you my Instagram, Facebook, website, everything.
Birth certificate, social security number, credit cards.
Yeah.
All right.
And we do vet our subs. If
Yeah.
you're talking about that, absolutely. That's a question that's asked a lot of time. I'm sorry.
Love it.
Did you say thank you or something else? Okay.
Yeah.
So, we're professionals, we're responsive. That's what sets us apart. We want to partner with you. Obviously, what we're describing here is I want to be able to take that property management piece off your plate. I know the end results makes you money, but a lot of that time in between does not. So
Awesome.
that's us.
Appreciate you.
Yeah,
Thank you. And
thank
thank you
you.
for lunch. Appreciate that. Thanks for having me. Yes. Thank you. Appreciate y'all. All right. Let's roll. What do we have coming up? All right. Still a few things coming up. You see the laundry list there. Let's kind of go through them really quick. Apologize for the short notice, but we had put this on the calendar last Thursday to Friday, and it's tomorrow. It's my version of Profit Camp that I like to call Show Me the Money. The cool thing about this session is it is not 6 hours long like most of mine are. It's about 90 minutes to 2 hours. It is tomorrow right here in the training room. It is a MAPS design course. If you typically it's presented through KWRI for $99 a person. Okay, it's going to be the same material, the same class. I'll teach you right here in-house. I haven't taught it since last July. You will get printed material to take notes in. Some highlights on it. I navigate through designing your life from a financial perspective, right? So what do you want to accomplish in your life? What life by design do you want to live? And what kind of financial backing is that going to take? And so how to navigate through that backwards. I talk about the flow of money in business, and we break down at the end your net worth and what net worth do you want to get to, and how you're going to plan that out. Okay, so it's a pretty powerful class, and it flows pretty quickly because we'll be done in 2 hours or less. Okay, so I hope to see you all in here tomorrow at 9:30. It is not hybrid. It is in person only because we're going to be working through a lot of things, and it kind of gets complicated when it's hybrid. Okay, all right, so it'll be in person. All right. Hope to see y'all there. Hope this room's full. I know it's last minute, so I apologize. All right. Again, commercial inspection CE coming up here on the 9th. It's tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. Right here in the training room. There's no cost to it, and you get a CE. So if you want to learn a little bit more about how the ins and outs of a commercial inspection goes, that's going to happen right here tomorrow. Okay. And then on the 24th, so next Tuesday, we're going to have overcoming a residential inspection presented by Brian and Brian, and it's going to also be a CE. So if you need some CE electives, you have a lot of opportunity this week. Christina is in the house. Thank you yesterday for Legal 1 and 2. That's fantastic. Again, we do our best to provide you guys to be able to renew your license right here in-house. Okay, we're going to be very intentional about that. Again, New American Funding is doing this awesome retirement planning solution class coming up with Michael. He's fantastic. We've seen him come and talk in here in person before. Oh, he's here today. Oh, how awesome. You want to come up and say a couple of things real quick about it? Like last time you gave that mic drop and it was fantastic. It was awesome. Okay. Can you tell me more about it? Yeah, there we go. All right, I love it. All right, how the rich applied to reverse mortgages, and if you want to know, that's about as much as we're telling you right now. Be there on the 24th, okay? All right, 26th. Sorry, 26th. I apologize. Yes, 26th at 10 o'clock. Oh, yes, Esther. I did. What time is it? It's at 2 p.m. tomorrow. Here. 2 p.m. tomorrow. Okay? Right here in the training room. Okay, and Alamo Tyler is presenting AI productivity hacks for real estate. That is Tuesday, March 31st from 10 to 12. This is a 2-hour CE credit, and again, it's getting more and more into utilizing AI to your advantage. So if this appeals to you at the moment, I suggest you take a gander at that. All right, we have this video again that we had. Yeah, come on up. Both of y'all, come on up. Here, I can play it. There should be a better turnout today on the volume. Let's take a look.
You all ready to shred?
Are you ready to shred?
Are you ready to shred?
Are you ready to shred? Are you ready to shred?
Are you ready to shred?
Are you ready to shred?
Look at that.
Are you ready to shred?
Oh, he's gone. All right, I love that.
Are you ready to shred? That volume was super low.
Yeah,
so I'll bring it up.
Hey, it was better than last week. That's called growth, dude.
Okay, growth.
Yes. Yeah.
Progress, not perfection, right?
Yeah. Here you go.
So speaking of perfection, Shredding Hunger is coming up. It's going to be April 18th. You guys all need to be promoting this as your own event. So you guys should already have the flyers branded to yourself from Agent Marketing Desk or Greg or whoever that email came from. Brandon's saying no. Well, then I'll yell at somebody, okay? So I'll make sure you guys get it in your emails. But what we need is for you guys to sign up to help. So very short shifts, right? We're doing like an hour and a half each. All you do is you go there and you help people take their stuff out of their car. You put it in the shred box. That's it. Or you take it out and you give it to East Fort Bend Human Needs. So why are we really doing this? It's not just to shred docs for somebody else, right? We're nobody's gopher. What we're doing is we're asking them to bring a donatable item, right? Some canned good items, cash, all of that works, and give it to East Fort Bend Human Needs. They serve I think it's somewhere around 200 families every single week who they feed. Am I wrong? It was 200 when we looked at it last time, but I could be wrong. So it could be 300, 400. I'm
600.
You're the expert here.
Yeah.
Let's say 1,000. So they serve 1,000 families every single week. By every week though, I mean giving them entire groceries for the week, right?
Yes, okay.
So, but they need donations in order to make that happen. So this is super, super important for you in this area in Fort Bend. This is your way to give back. So if you're doing your business in Fort Bend at all, you know somebody who's been affected or has needed somebody from East Fort Bend Human Needs to help them out. So they're more than just a food pantry. They're also a resource. So they help people with classes and getting back on their feet whenever they're down and out, right? This is a very, very, and say it again. And financial, right? So they help people meet needs where they're unable to right now, right? And then they get them back on their feet and then they have a successful life after that. So, we want to make sure that we're able to support that. And that's what you guys are there for. So if you can, get out your phone, scan that QR code. I also emailed every single one of you this morning. So you guys all got emails from me. So there is no excuse. So scan the QR code. It's literally an hour and a half. Who's done it here before? Can you raise your hand? See? So if you haven't, you're missing out. So I also expect every single one of you. So scan it. Let's have some fun. We'll have some music. We'll have some food. I'm sure.
Yeah, donuts. Right? If you like donuts, you should show up.
It'll be
Yeah.
great. It'll be fun. All
If
right.
you want to be in social media content, I would show up.
Yeah, so that's the other big thing. If you are looking for a way to get more social media content or more content in general, right? This is one of the best ways in order for you to do that, right? You don't have to think about it. You just put it up there. You go, come to my thing, and that's it. Come to my Shredding Hunger. It's fantastic, right? So sign up. We're going to have a meeting about it next week as well. So sign up and then we'll start talking about it.
Awesome.
All right,
Corinne, do you have a
thanks.
question? Or no? It's hard in the chat if you just want to unmute and ask. Or
Okay.
keep going. All right. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks, Brad. Oh, go ahead. Come on up. Tanya's next. Okay. Are we ready to roll?
Okay, does anybody work with buyers? If you do, can you stand up? Does anybody work with sellers? If you do, can you stand up? Well, everyone. I mean, everybody should be up on the floor right now.
Summer doesn't work with anyone, so she's good as stay.
Excuse me in the back row. Do you work with buyers or sellers? Okay.
No, you're talking about Linda. Where did
So,
Mike go? Mike ran off. He
We
doesn't
do
work with-
not have to go to FedEx office. I am part of ALC Marketing Chair with Tara and Sapana, and we are going to make the workroom so you don't have to go to FedEx office. Who's all been to FedEx office to buying something for their buyer's presentation or seller's presentation? So take a look. We have it here. We have the supplies. They're very cost effective, so take a
play.
look.
Let's create a professionally bound buyer guide. So I have my comb binding, I have my front page, my back page, and I have my documents. Make sure all my documents are aligned. I put them under and I pull the lever forward, stack them neatly, put my cover page, my back page on there, which obviously they're already on there. I make sure the combs are facing up before I put them in the back of the machine. You can see it here. I'm pushing the lever back to open up the combs. And I align my documents into the combs. As I stand up, you'll start to see how I actually put the documents on the combs and I pull it forward, pushing all the documents down into the comb to make sure they are seamlessly aligned, as you can see here, and they're actually grabbing all of the documents. I go ahead and release the lever forward to make the combs close, and voila, a professionally bound document that I can just cut off the end.
So you use that for your buyer's guide, your seller's guide. You can use it at open house. There's a third machine. We'll have that video next week, but we do have the next clip.
Next clip. All right, here we are. Ready?
This is a laminating machine, which is great. And if you go to the workroom, you'll see the DTD2, who you should call every week. You can laminate that, but anything. I just love to laminate, but you can see.
This therapy. Can I play it?
Yes, please.
Let's professionally
Ooh,
laminate.
same professional.
So I use my DTD2 every day, and it can get a little crusty because I touch it every day, so I want to laminate it. So first I open the pouch, and once you get it open, you go ahead and you slip your document inside all the way until the sealed side, and then you can go ahead and close it. Once you have your document positioned just how you like it, you start with the sealed side going into the ready and hot lamination machine. You want to let it feed through naturally. And I was just showing you the settings there. It is going to be a little warm, so be careful. But the reason I'm putting my hands behind it so it doesn't bend and it's perfectly straight. And there you go. I have a perfectly
And
laminated.
all the equipment is at the front desk. It's $1 to laminate, get the pouches. I mean, you're paying $2.75 at FedEx office. So $1.50 to bind. And we're going to look professional when we have our buyer's presentation. When we go to our open houses, you can do it all in the workroom. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Thank you. All right. And ALC didn't spare $1. Look at that, man. They brought professional voiceovers. It was awesome. All right, Cowboy Norm. Yeah, 30 seconds, Cowboy.
30 seconds. I thought you said 20 minutes.
No.
All right. This next one is agent highlight, right? And so huh? Yeah, you should make one for yourself too. If you want to, I'll give you the prompt. It's easy, but it's been a lot of fun. Okay. And whoever I give it to and they do this, it's been a lot of fun. It's not only here, it could be a title company, it could be, somebody at the rodeo. I go like, hey, I'm standing next to him. I go like, hey, let me send you a prompt, And so they have a lot of fun with it too. Okay, it's already made. So, okay, so agent highlight. Nobody told me about an agent highlight today, but we're doing this and I'm going like, I need to highlight somebody very special that I've been watching for a while and that comes to the office quite often and helps other agents. We meet back in the back. We talk about things. I know some things, she knows some things, and we work together and we make it work. Okay? Esther! Ever since I met Esther, she helped me with signing people in for our like a holiday picture, right? And so if you know Esther, she floats around. Didn't you get the butterfly? She floats around, wonderful, very upbeat, very, you just want to be around her. So I know you're going to get a whole lot of clients and you're going to be so busy. You're not going to remember to come back and visit us. But Esther, thank you so very much for helping everybody. And she goes back there and she helps other agents too. Okay. All right. Talking about AI. I got 20 minutes, right? Everybody using AI for everything. Everything, right? Everything. Don't worry about what other people say. Don't worry about you're using it wrong if you're using it for an email. I go like, just use it. Okay, so we're making plans for a trip. And so my daughter-in-law keeps on wanting to drive. I get ridiculous. I don't want to drive. So I go like, we are having a debate whether we should drive or take a flight. Here's travel plans, and I give it information. AI is so much easier to use these days. It's not the same as it was before. So we're traveling from Houston to Las Vegas, May 23rd to the 30th. The car is, you tell it what a car is. 3 adults, 2 children, their ages. Think of everything needed to make the drive to Las Vegas and back. While in Las Vegas, we will rent a similar SUV. We need to know the cost to drive and the cost to similar to fly. At the end, list any considerations to factor in. So it does this for you. Cost comparison is not that big of a deal. Time, that's a big deal. Okay. My daughter-in-law doesn't see this, but when she saw this, it makes sense to her. And then the hidden considerations, it tells you, oop, oop, what happened?
I have no idea, but the presentation view left.
You know what? I think this did it earlier. Look, it's still going.
Hey, I'm losing all my thunder.
Everybody see that? You know what's going on, right? Okay, let me start it here then. Oh, you know what? I might have been touching a button. That's funny, huh? The drive, okay. The total hours, you gotta be careful. This thing's a little bit sensitive. Cheaper overall. It tells you the pros of actually driving and the cons of driving. And then it changes it as the pros of flying and then the cons of flying, right? Kids can tolerate 3 hours. And when she saw that, it made a lot more sense. Otherwise, you're sitting in there and the kids are going like, the real decision makers, okay, is not that big of a deal. It tells you, okay, Mike, and it gave me its recommendation. Isn't this neat? Yeah. What a bracket.
Yeah.
What's a bracket?
Oh my goodness.
March bracket.
How many of y'all want to do an office bracket? Okay, yeah? All right, we'll set it up this afternoon.
Wow, look at y'all.
I know, let them on.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's wait till we got to do it today.
Do any of y'all have spouses? Does your spouse ever say anything right?
I don't know. Linda, does he? Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to ask that out loud. Sorry.
So it goes both ways. But when you listen to somebody else, then it starts making sense. Okay. So I love this. I use it for everything. I know Tosha uses it for everything too. Just ask it. It's still up to you to make sure if that's what you want to accept or not. Okay. And it also gave me some other considerations. Maybe fly to a cheaper airport and then just drive to Las Vegas. That's a consideration because some other airports are actually cheaper to fly into for whatever reason. Okay, I'm done.
All right. Thank you, Norman. That was kind of cool. All right. All right. Let's get in the zone for what we want to talk about today. How many of you heard at least a little bit about what announcements were made yesterday or saw your email that came in that kind of was in general? Okay, I'm going to explain it so you'll totally understand right now, okay? So we received it as leadership. We received a cryptic email late on Monday. Today's Wednesday, Monday, saying please be on a call tomorrow at 10:15 a.m. That's all it said. Now it turned out, usually we don't get a message saying be on a call first thing in the morning that late, okay? And yet we got it, and it turned out that was intentional due to SEC regulations, and that was interesting to know, okay? So for those of you that don't know, it was an announcement regarding KW's involvement with Zillow, okay? And so that's what we're going to talk about and what that means. All right, so saying that, before we get started on this, how many of you actually read Gary's op-ed? Okay, yeah, so in that email you got, there was a button that said Gary's op-ed. Now what I'm going to tell you guys, and it looked like that in the top left corner, all right, explores Gary's op-ed. What I suggest you guys do is actually read it in its entirety because I think it's fantastic. And Gary being a, powerhouse and a leader and an innovator in this industry, it makes a lot of sense. And he's written it very eloquently and very easy to understand. Now, for those, I know half of you are not going to read it. All right, so what I'm actually going to do is spare me and actually try to keep focused because I want to read a part of it verbatim, okay? Because for you guys to understand and where we're coming from, all right? So here it goes, per Gary directly. I have argued that homeowners should always be given a transparent choice about how their homes are marketed. Sellers should understand the pros and cons of full market exposure versus limited exposure, and disclosures shouldn't be made marketing pitches. They should inform consent, not manufacture it. One recent development deserves particular attention. Compass recently announced a 3-year agreement to feature its off-market listings on Redfin. This announcement may signal something important for our industry. If listings marketed as off market are now being displayed on one of the largest home search platforms in the country, the idea of private listings at scale becomes harder to sustain. Once listings are widely visible to the public, they are, in essence, no longer truly private. At that point, the conversation is no longer about private listings. It's about how listings are distributed. The bottom line is that real estate markets work best when homes are easy to find and buyers are free to compete. For sellers, this is particularly true because a property simply can't achieve its true market value if the full market can't see it. Any friction introduced into the open marketplace is not in the spirit of providing the best opportunities for sellers and buyers. The market itself appears to be reaffirming the simple truth that exposure matters. That principle has guided the housing market for decades. In almost 5 decades as a real estate agent, there's been one constant. The housing market works best when information flows freely and consumers can make informed decisions. One of the misconceptions driving today's discussion is that sellers need special private listings strategies to control how their home is marketed. They do not. Some companies have taken these long-standing practices and repackaged them as if they are new and exclusive strategies. They are neither new nor exclusive. Every professional real estate agent operating within an MLS already has the ability to help a seller pursue all of their options and customize how their home is marketed. What we believe. At Keller Williams, our beliefs are straightforward. We believe an open market serves consumers the best. Sellers should have the opportunity to reach the broadest pool of potential buyers if they choose to do so, because competition benefits the home seller. At the same time, sellers should retain the right to set the parameters around how their home is marketed. Information, marketing plan, timing, showing rules, and offer management. Those decisions belong to the homeowner. Our job as the professionals is to fully disclose and explain the options and let the seller decide. We must also consider the other side of the transaction, the buyer. A healthy housing market depends on buyers having fair access to available homes. When information about listings becomes restricted, buyers see fewer options, and the market becomes less transparent. Eventually, the lack of transparency works against sellers as well, because today's seller is tomorrow's buyer. Which brings us to another development worth discussing, Zillow's new preview listing program. That's per Gary Keller. So moving forward, just a quick recap, and in our meeting, we got a whole history on what the MLS history, okay? I skipped all of that to spare you guys, all right? But some things I thought were relevant to preface this. Clear cooperation policy, right? We heard about this a few years ago when this whole coming soon thing came about through the MLS, right? Number one, one-day business rule. The moment you market it publicly, you have 1 day to put it in the MLS as a coming soon, all right? Public marketing definition. Anything that's, yard signs to flyers to social media, it constitutes as public marketing, okay? And office exclusives. These remain permitted if the seller requests it, but the property can only be promoted within the listing brokerage and cannot be publicly marketed, okay? All right, so those are some just stipulations on clear cooperation policy. MLS options for sellers, right? Delayed marketing options. So meaning it's a coming soon campaign. One-to-one communication, meaning you can communicate within the brokerages, all right? So if you have a Keller Williams, if you have a listing coming, you are more than welcome to promote it inside of the office as much as you please before it's on the market, okay? That's been the rule for a while, all right? Local discretion. The local MLSs get to dictate the actual nitty-gritty of their rules that they want to enforce, okay? And then informed consent. To use these options, seller must agree to it and sign off on it. Okay, pretty clear? All right, so in February, this past February, Compass and Anywhere, which they're one company now, right? And that was Coldwell Banker, Century 21, Better Homes and Gardens, etc., announced a venture with Redfin, the #4 consumer search platform, to post their coming soon and private listings on Redfin. That's what started all of this, okay? And in response, NAR said, NAR does not have a national policy regarding coming soon, blah, blah, blah. We refer to the local markets. So basically, their statement was a non-statement. Okay? All right. I threw this in here because this came out this morning in reaction to what we just did yesterday and what Compass did prior to us. EXP announces pre-market syndication deals with 3 portals, including homes.com, realtor.com, and comehome.com, which I've never even heard of, okay? So coming back, I just wanted to throw that in there, okay? All right, so how do these portals stack up? This is an interesting slide. So Zillow and Trulia combined get 219 million visits a month, all right? Realtor.com, 72, Redfin, 57, that's who Compass and Anywhere partnered with, Homes.com, 35 million, okay? Again, Zillow and Trulia, whatever we want to say about it, okay, however we want to perceive it, that's a conversation for a different day. They definitely get more views than any other real estate portal on the planet, okay? 220. Got it? All right. I'm not going to reread this because I just read Gary's half of his op-ed, okay? But it's essentially that's what he's saying. Open transparency, and the more people that get to see, more consumers that get to see the listings benefits everybody, okay? Coming soon previews. The idea behind coming soon listings was simple. A homeowner can decide to pre-market the listing to generate a buzz, essentially, okay? So what's changed? When shared with the consumer, these listings stop being visible only to MLS members and now can be seen by everyone. When consumers can see these properties as soon as they are ready to be marketed, the demand for information excitement around these listings may increase. Okay? As a result, seller may ask or expect the listing agent to use coming soon. The goal here is the consumer knows enough to where they're going to ask the agent, well, what are you doing as a coming soon campaign for me? Right? Do you think every agent does this right now? I'll argue that not everybody in this room does this right now. Okay? All right. So on to why you guys are sitting here and are wondering and waiting. The Zillow Preview Listing Program. All right? So in order to ensure that KW affiliated agents have every available tool to compete in the market, we've entered into an agreement that allows our franchisees, meaning the market centers and their agents, to choose, most importantly, choose to be a part and receive the benefits of Zillow Preview Listing Program. All right, so what qualifies as a preview listing? Listings not yet entered the MLS and not yet publicly marketed, or a listing entered in the MLS but not shared with other MLS participants outside the MLS, meaning our HAR Coming Soon campaign, okay? Or displayed exclusively on Zillow, an agent's website, or an agent's social media account, okay? Everything needs to still comply with MLS rules. But that's what qualifies as a Zillow or a preview listing, okay? The program has 5 key components. Here they are. No one is forced to participate in this program. Each office may review, debate, and then make the decision that best serves them. So not only is this a market center decision, but this will also be an agent-to-agent decision. If you don't want to utilize it or you don't want to participate in it, you don't have to, okay? This program was designed to have flexibility and be used in compliance with local MLS rules. All right. For each listing and preview, listing status, the listing agent's contact information will be prominently displayed. Okay. So your name will be there next to the listing as the listing agent prominently. Okay. And there will also be a button for any consumer to click on, contact the listing agent. This is where your lead still comes into play. If a consumer wants to reach directly out to you, they're going to have an easy way to do that even on Zillow. Okay, moving forward. All right, which will connect the listing agent directly with the consumer by an email. Now, each page will still also have a button to request a tour, okay, which is then clicked will route them to a consumer to a Zillow preferred agent. That is still going to be there, okay? A Zillow preferred agent is what was formerly known as a Zillow Flex agent. I'll explain that in a second, all right? So the consumer gets to choose who they interact with. Now, some consumers may say, I want to talk to the listing agent. Some consumers may say they don't, or they want to talk to somebody else, and they will have the right to do so, okay? The listing agent or the Zillow preferred agent, okay? If they choose a Zillow preferred agent, that unlocks a referral opportunity for the listing agent and their brokerage. Okay? All right. So what does that mean? Zillow agrees that the time, effort, and expertise required to bring a property to market holds tremendous value, and that value should be honored in the preview listing program. While a listing is in preview listing status, I'm going to pause there and emphasize that. All of this I'm going to say moving forward applies while it's in preview listing status only, meaning coming soon only, prior to going active on the market. There is a referral opportunity for the listing agent and the brokerage if a lead is created, assigned to a Zillow preferred agent, and that Zillow preferred agent closes a transaction on any listing within that buyer within 90 days of that lead getting created. Okay? All right. There's going to be more details, don't worry. Okay? Now, here's going to be the example. In the example, a consumer clicks on the Request a Tour feature on a KW agent's preview listing. That consumer then becomes a Zillow preferred lead, then hires a Zillow preferred agent, then closes that transaction on any listing, not your listing per se, any listing, okay? Closes the transaction on any listing within 90 days of becoming a lead. That Zillow preferred agent pays Zillow a 40% Zillow preferred fee. So this has nothing to do with this program, but I just do want you to understand 1 second. As a Zillow preferred agent, they're giving a 40% referral to Zillow. Okay? That's in addition to any brokered splits or fees or whatever they have. It's a 40% referral in this program. Okay? On the buyer side, just to clarify. Okay? Now, also another asterisk here. A consumer can only become a lead once. So it's going to be on the first preview listing that they click on. Okay? So as an example, if I'm browsing on Zillow for the very first time, because now I want to buy, I'm like, let me go to Zillow to look for houses, and I come on a listing and I see Tanya's listing, and I'm like, oh man, this is awesome. Let me request a tour, and I click on it. Boom. On 123 Main Street on Tanya's listing, I am now the lead. Then if I go and keep looking and I find Sapana's listing, and I'm like, oh, this, 789 Banana Street is cool too. Let me request a tour on that. I am not a lead for Sapana's listing. I'm only a lead for Tanya's listing because that's the first one I clicked on. Okay? And now so that's the only one that it's attached to. Okay? Everybody got it? So if they click on 15 requests to tours, you're only solidified on that very first one as a lead. That buyer is the lead of Tanya's listing in this example because it's the first listing they clicked on to say request a tour. Probably not. No, it has nothing to do with that. Okay? They will eventually with the Zillow agent. Yeah. Okay? Yes. Hang on. Hang tight. Okay? All right. So here's some things, all right? 70% or this is some facts why were these parameters created? 70% or more leads are generated within the first 72 hours is what research shows, okay? Approximately. They won't give us the exact numbers, okay? And understand one thing, why 90 days? Well, research proves that vast majority of closings are within 90 days in the Zillow platform of them clicking on that button. So I want you to just get out of the limiting belief that 90 days, well, after 90 days, I might get nothing. Yeah, that's true, but guess what? Most of them actually close within 90 days, okay, of a consumer actually being serious and clicking these buttons. Okay, so here we go, Jimmy. What does it look like? All right, so let's say on a listing, this buyer finally closed on a transaction through this process, and the total GCI, okay, was $12,500, okay? The total GCI on that closing, not Tanya's listing, the deal that buyer eventually bought, the GCI for that buyer's agent was $12,500. Well, the Zillow preferred fee is 40% of that total GCI, right? So Zillow gets to keep $5,000 of that $12,500, okay? Yeah. Now, the listing agent referral fee is 10% of the GCI. So the listing agent, if that was your listing that they clicked on first, that they're tied to, would get $1,250 out of this transaction. Okay? $1,250. Now, that $1,250 is subtracted out of Zillow's amount that they received out of that 40%. Okay? So that they use that 40%, in this case $5,000, to pay out the original listing agent that was able to generate the lead. Okay? So in this case, in our example, Tanya got $1,250. All right? So when you take that $5,000 and you subtract the $1,250, $3,750 is left for Zillow. Okay? Well, Zillow also rewards the brokerage. I'm just being fully transparent here, guys. I'm telling you, this was our leadership slides, and I'm sharing them with you. Okay? The KW broker fee now, so the brokerage gets 10% of Zillow's net. Okay? So $3,750. So the market center in this case would get $375, 10% of Zillow's net. Okay? All right? So this is a win-win-win from a financial standpoint. All right. We're good here so far? Okay. All right. Yeah, hang on to the questions in just a second, right? I think it's a win all around. We'll talk about that too. Sure. All right. So understand one thing moving forward, once this program is introduced, hang tight, guys. All right. Once this program, guys, I just need 5 more minutes. All right. Understand one thing, that moving forward in this program, any listing in the preview listing next to your name will also have the brokerage logo. All right. Our goal is that when consumers are flooding or going to Zillow, they already are, to look at listings, they see a bunch of KW logos. Okay, that's the goal. So there will be a KW bug that will be displayed as a brand badge when they appear in buyer listing search results. So even in the search results, it'll show KW, 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 KW. Okay? All right. Couple of things. I don't want to get into this too much. We don't know too much about it yet. You're going to have a portal that you can access. There's going to be toggles that you can choose to display what, not display what. You're going to have full control over that. Okay? All right. Before I open it up, I want to broaden it a little bit. Right? This is what I want to ask you. I want you to ask yourself moving forward to prep for some of these things. And it's not just even about this, right? It's about you marketing your listings and what are you doing to do that, to have your seller's best interest. Number one, how do you market your properties today? And what's your marketing plan? Okay, what's your market? Solidify that. Create one if you haven't. If you had one or if it's stale, let's revisit it. What does that look like? All right, number two, in what cases do you think coming soon as a strategy makes sense? Okay, no, in light of this new information. And what you're seeing as the industry evolving. And number three, what's your strategy when it comes to preview listings? All right, how are you going to utilize this in your conversation? How can you take this ammunition and now use it in your listing presentation? All right, as an added value add for your seller. Hey, Mr. Seller, I'm going to get you, like your house is going to be marketed on the largest platform on the planet. All right, we're actually, I've heard that KW Canva is going to have a sheet that you can actually put into your, customize and put into your listing presentations, okay, pretty soon. So there should be a whole thing around that. So these are some of the things. Now, for those of you that sat in Breakthrough 120, or previously known as the brand new Ignite that we piloted, when we went through the whole section of appointments, a whole thing on pre-listing and how are you having that conversation and what your pre-listing looks like or what your pre-listing package or your pre-listing information was a big piece of the conversation. Now we know that that just released this month all KW-wide. So just merging the two conversations together, hey, are we thinking this deep? Are we building and creating this system around your listings? This also tells me now that listings, as they've always been, are more important than ever. Heck, this is now incentivized. Why would you not go after every listing you can? I'm going to give you an example. Okay? I'm going to give you an example. What's stopping you, hypothetically, okay? Oh, this one said 12,500 as the GCI example on the listing. Sure, that's common in our area, right? What's stopping you from closing a listing at 12,000 with the 12,500 GCI and also collecting 12,500 as a referral through this program? There's not. Now, is it difficult? Possibly. Is it realistic? I'm not sure yet. But is it possible? It absolutely is, because there's no cap on how many people can click on your listing while it's in coming soon for, let's say, 2 weeks. If it's the first listing that they came across that they loved and they're like, select a tour. What if 10 people did that and in 90 days, 10 people closed?
That house,
Any house. You were the one to see. In Zillow's eyes, your listing was the one that generated the lead. They looked at your listing and were like, whoa, this is cool. Let me go look at it. And now Zillow captured this lead. So they're awarding you for your listing capturing the lead for them. That's a great question that I don't have an answer to right now. Correct. For preview only. Once it goes active, all of this is out the window. Then the house is active on the market, right? So yeah.
but they end up buying Sapina's after they clicked on hers.
Mhm.
Tanya gets the 1250.
Correct.
Correct?
Yes, and she got the whatever whatever her listing agreement said, right?
Size and they sold like, so in the past they would give multiple people the same lead.
Correct. They still do.
But on this program they're saying they're not.
Oh, well, that's on the buy side. That's on the buy side.
Yeah, and that's on the buy side, right? So that's a. I'm not sure what they're doing on the buy side, right? They can give the lead to 10 people if they want. All that matters for you is that, hey, that buyer is now linked to your listing, right? And when they close, as long as it's with the Zillow agent, you're going to get the, right.
The listing referral fee during the coming soon.
Correct.
window.
Correct.
21 days.
That's the MLS coming soon rule. Correct.
They're gonna follow.
They have, and everything's going to comply with MLS.
Eventually,
You're going to be the one putting it on. Yeah. It can be less if you want, but it can't be more. Well, we don't know all the details, but
Like that slide,
Mhm.
and you to choose this, and I can choose not to put it on MLS. You know, so like.
what constitutes as a coming soon? Correct, right? Now, again, we may have different MLS regulations, but our MLS regulations say that you cannot have it for more than 21 days. And it's still going to have to abide by MLS rules. Okay. Correct. How can they enforce that? Yes, same way MLSs enforce it. Yeah. It is free, Esther. Good question. There is no cost to anyone for this. There's no sign up. There's nothing. Okay. There is going to be you're going to have to physically register because you're going to have to access the portal, right?
And somebody clicks coming soon.
Yes.
Doesn't matter what her listing, what her agreement, her listing agreement says.
Correct.
All the person that clicks is connected to a buyer's agent, and the buyer's agent helps them buy another home.
Correct. Any home. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
The gross commission on that buy side was 12.5.
Okay. Correct. Yeah. And Zillow gets 40% of that because they're only their Zillow agents get the leads.
Buyer's agent pays
Pays 40%. Correct. And then any referrals and payments out to market centers or listing agents are all from that 40%. Not from the buyer agent compensation. They're keeping the 60. Hang on. I know Sharon's been up and jumping up and up for ages and people keep cutting her. So what's up? Yeah.
So the beauty really is you can opt in or opt out.
Correct. It's a choice. I mean, the market center could say no, and then nobody gets it in the office. Which, are we going to do that? No. Yeah. Correct. This is going to be a sales, from what I understand. Correct. Yes. Yes. Jimmy, I'll work my way this way. Jimmy.
So let's say it's my listing that's up there, and on Zillow, they choose to contact the listing agent.
Correct.
Then we're not having to pay a referral.
No. So when that's your listing, your lead. That's your lead now. So yeah, correct.
How quickly is this rolling out?
Great question. How quickly is it? They've told us Q2 right now. So that could be anywhere from April to June, April through June. So here in the next couple of months. Okay. Pretty quickly. Yeah. Yes, Linda. It's going to come into the brokerage. Okay. Correct. It'll come into the brokerage as a check or wire. I'm not sure yet. We don't know the logistics of that. All I do know is that it'll come in through the brokerage because that's the state law. Yes. Hang on, Sapna. Go. We haven't we have not gotten that far yet. Understand that I've been on 2 calls yesterday, all right, and that's all that we've done so far.
A technical question.
Go ahead and ask it. I believe it's going to be something like that because again, it's not like coming soons don't syndicate, right? It probably will merge or something. I can imagine there'd be some kind of technology that does. Yeah. I doubt that. I doubt that. That doesn't make any sense. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to argue none are. There was some questions that were floating that just kind of got thrown out. Anybody want to ask them now? Which the math slide? I can do that.
Good for luxury listings.
It can. You're going to make a lot.
Listings, it doesn't have to be the listing that sells. It just
Correct.
has to be your listing that they draw on first.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. No, so that was a great question. All right, I do want to add this because this is part I was going to close about. Why? So why are we doing this? So here's the thing. For a hot minute, we did have a conversation with Zillow that, hey, we want to make this a KW exclusive partnership. Okay, and that conversation started, and yet it lasted a hot minute because of everything Gary said. If we are talking about having exclusive listings and private listings and whatnot, and we truly believe that that's not best for the consumer, if all of a sudden we're putting private or previewed coming soon listings on the largest portal on the planet, and there's 5 other brokerages or 6 right now that are also part of this program, okay, including RE/MAX, what all of a sudden happens to private listings? They're all of a sudden no longer private, or the product is diluted, meaning benefit for the consumer in our opinion. So that was our goal. I truly believe that wasn't articulated exactly that way, but that's what I'm reading into it.
Also doing this with Berkshire.
Yeah, I can't remember Berkshire Hathaway being one, but Side is one of them. Okay. It's so KW, RE/MAX, Side. Maybe Barbara's right. Linda's right, and it's Berkshire Hathaway. I don't remember reading that name, but there's a couple other brokers that really don't have too much presence. No, Compass will not be a part of this. That's for sure. That's part of the deal. Yeah. Say it again. I'm not sure. I'll go, Jimmy. I would maybe. Yeah, I'm like maybe. Yeah. I'm sure that maybe your listing sellers might have to sign something potentially. Okay. As a disclosure. Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. Because they specifically say sellers consent, right? In writing. Yeah. Now remember, they're also saying it on their listing agreement. How are we doing? All right, we're 5 minutes over. I'll hang around for just a few minutes, okay? Afterwards, if you all have questions. Yeah, Jimmy.
Whatever. You know, like, I want to go
I hear you. Oh God. All right, we've lost the room. We've lost the room. Let's get our partners. Let's get the partners. Let's get the partners. Appreciate that.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Just real quickly in regards to the reverse mortgage class that we're going to do next week. How many of you have parents over 62 years old? How many of your parents that are still living? Did I say that? Okay, got it. How many of your parents are concerned about their future and their retirement? Nobody. Okay, got it. This class is a way for your parents potentially, and you as you get to the minimum age to be able to participate in a reverse mortgage. This is something that you can help to talk to family members about, to talk about great friends, to talk about with your friends at church that might have some considerations about how am I going to get through life after I retire. So it's a great program. Michael will be hosting it next week here on Thursday at 10 a.m. We would love to have you here. You're going to get some information that can personally benefit you, that you can also pass on to potential buyers in the future. We're here. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you. Thank you. All right. Any other partners here today? Nobody else? We're doing all right. All right. Well, I appreciate y'all being here. That was a lot of info. Hey, understand one thing, right? That this industry is always evolving. If we don't evolve with it, we start dying, right? That's why we're relevant. No, she's out for the rest. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your lunch. Go make it happen.